Yeah, so I'm Chris Joslin. I'm the Executive Director of the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame and Museum here in downtown Owensboro.
I'm Carly Smith. I'm the Curator here at the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame and Museum.
So as you might guess, a lot happens here at the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame Museum, certainly a lot of live music, but the heart and soul of our building is our exhibit space, the museum side of what we do. We have 2 floors of exhibits. In fact, here's an example of one of our newest exhibits that was developed by Carly and recently installed, called My Bluegrass Story. Now it coincides with something else we do, which is a television show that airs weekly on RFD TV called My Bluegrass Story. And so these are artifacts from season 1 highlighting all the artists who participated in season 1. But one of the things we're really celebrating today, as you might imagine, as the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame and Museum, as we continue to build our audience and to grow our audience for what we do, we're looking for compelling and interesting exhibits that might reach a broader audience, but still very congruent with who we are and what we're about and the kind of stories we want to tell. And so one of the things that has been in the planning for quite some time is an exhibit on Jerry Garcia. Now many know him from obviously the Grateful Dead, but prior to that grew up on the West Coast in the Bay Area, was involved in folk music and then in bluegrass music, and was a great banjo player, and not a closet banjo player. He was very active in the music and recorded some great music. In fact, the second best-selling album in all of bluegrass music is Old and in the Way, which featured Jerry Garcia on banjo, second only to the Oh Brother Where Art Thou soundtrack. And so he's a legit banjo player, and that's a part of his musical journey that's not really been explored as much as perhaps other parts of his musical journey. And so we're telling that story here at the Hall of Fame and have already made great progress on this. But this collaboration with Fiscal Court, with Daviess County Fiscal Court, certainly gives us the fuel in the tank of the engine to really develop this more fully and to establish a timeline on this. And I think this is going to be an exhibit that will bring people from all over the country here to Owensboro to explore this Jerry Garcia exhibit and to really discover everything else about the Hall of Fame and about Owensboro in particular. Carly's really been on this journey, has been central for us. Carly, tell us a little bit about how this came about and sort of your vision for the kinds of artifacts and images and objects that might be used to tell the Jerry Garcia story.
Sure. So this has always kind of been on the back burner. I think it's interesting that a lot of people in the bluegrass world may not know Jerry's journey within bluegrass music, and then again also people that are fans of the Grateful Dead may not know he had this parallel bluegrass career going on. So Jerry's an icon, and I'm really excited to be able to tell that story. We have been working with some family members and have some of his instruments already committed to this project, so that is really exciting. And I think on their side, they're just excited to be able to tell his bluegrass story, because that was really near and dear to his heart. Everyone knows the Grateful Dead story. So this is just a great opportunity for us to be able to attract new visitors and new fans to the museum.
And we're creating some never-before-seen content to complement this. Tell us a little bit about what's coming up soon. I mean, you're traveling to the West Coast
Yes.
to really have one-on-one conversations with the people that lived life with Jerry Garcia during this phase of his journey.
Absolutely. Really excited in November, heading to the San Francisco area. And we've already set up interviews with people like David Nelson, who's best known for New Riders of the Purple Sage, which was a band that Jerry was part of, family members of Jerry, as well as other collaborators of the time that were in the folk music scene, that are really important to be able to tell that story. And they're going to basically impart their experiences with Jerry along that journey in bluegrass.
Yeah, that's great. I mentioned Old and in the Way. 2 of the people that were in that band and on that record were Peter Rowan and also Vassar Clements, the great fiddle player. They're both in the Hall of Fame, and then Peter Rowan lives on the West Coast. And that's one of the folks that Carly will be speaking with on the West Coast too, who was a frequent and close collaborator with Jerry Garcia. But as you might imagine, all that we do here at the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame and Museum, we do to live out our mission and to help this community live out its reputation as the bluegrass music capital of the world. And you know, you don't really just drift towards success. You have to be deliberate. You have to work hard and hustle. And we couldn't do that without all these partners here in our community, and none more important than the folks at Fiscal Court who are investing well in the arts and are investing in initiatives like this that are going to attract people here to Daviess County and contribute to this economic impact, which is one of our objectives, one of our goals as an organization. So what a joy to work with Fiscal Court to accomplish that. And we can't wait to keep you apprised of the progress on this exhibit and the opening of this exhibit and all the wonderful events that are going to cascade as a result of that. Thank you so much.